Welcome to the River Cruise Expo. We're so excited you can join us. We're your hosts for this evening. I'm Elizabeth Carey.
And I'm Brian Murray, and we're delighted that you're spending some time with us this evening.
We have so much planned. We're going to roll out the red carpet for all things river cruising.
Absolutely. You know, there's so many opportunities with river cruising and, you know, all around, all corners of the world, but it's a great experience. It's a very intimate experience, but, you know, you see so much when you're on a river cruise.
There's so much to learn, so much to experience, and really to just immerse yourself in different cultures, whether that's in North America or around the globe, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. And you know what's really nice? You unpack once, but you see so many different countries, so many destinations. It really is one of the perfect vacations.
Well, I don't know why we aren't toasting this with a little wine or champagne, because that's a big part of river cruising as well.
There are large ships and there are small ships, but the best ships are friendships. Cheers.
You know, we've talked before, it's all about the food, it's all about the wine and cocktails and sightseeing. There's so much to offer, and you're going to hear all about it this evening.
Yeah, and a new renewed focus on health and wellness that they really take seriously. Biking, walking, hiking, you name it. So many different ways to explore the different itineraries.
Absolutely. And you know, really, people say, why AAA? Why CAA? What's the point of booking with AAA and CAA? But there really are so many benefits to doing that.
Oh, first of all, you're going to save a lot of money, and you're going to get that expertise.
Absolutely. Our travel advisors have traveled the world. They've experienced the river cruise ships. They really know and can share with you what to expect and really design that river cruise vacation for exactly everything that you want to get out of it.
Plus, they keep up to date on all the latest protocols, because you don't have to worry about so many different things changing. They'll keep you up to date so that you can have a smooth vacation.
Absolutely. Everything's taken care of. And when you really think about a river cruise, you know, all your meals are included, wine's included. Some river cruise companies are all inclusive. So there's a lot to offer. It's effortless. They take care of everything. Sightseeing is just, you know, as much as you want to do, included as well. But you know what? Booking with AAA and CAA also offers amenities that you can't get anywhere else, and that's really important.
Yeah, those member savings can go a long way.
Absolutely. So there's things that are offered on onboard credit. So you have extra spending money to spend on board the ship. There are welcome amenity kits and also wine, chocolates in your room. Who wouldn't like to arrive in your stateroom and have a beautiful bottle of wine and chocolates after traveling?
Oh, they sure know how to welcome you, and that's the thing that's so great. It's such an intimate experience. You get to know the crew, you get to know the staff on the river cruise from the moment you step on board.
Another thing, stateroom savings. There's always savings available with every river cruise company. So really, booking with one of those experts at AAA and CAA, they've done the training, they've really experienced the product and know the world.
And they can advise different places to go, because sometimes you have a choice when you go to a different destination. Should I take this trip or should I take this one, as far as the different itinerary and what is offered? And expert tour guides are going to lead you through the entire process so you can get the most out of that.
Well, this is the former imperial summer residence of the Habsburgs. The Habsburgs, the dynasty that ruled Austria for 640 years, actually until the end of World War I.
Many people also like to do a pre or post stay, which is so important to that river cruise experience. And, you know, the AAA travel advisors and the CAA travel advisors really know those destinations, where the riverboat leaves from and where it ends. And, you know, if you want to do some sightseeing or touring before or after that cruise, they can make that happen as well. It really is a seamless vacation.
Hello. And we're leaving.
I know. Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Could not beat it. Favorite cruise ever.
Well, I recommend the pre and the post, because once it ends, you're not going to want to go home. So giving yourself a little buffer there, a few extra days to enjoy it all, can go a long way.
Well, I know you, Elizabeth, and yes, it is the never-ending vacation, right? But you and I both have been on many river cruises, and it really is just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And, you know, a little later on in the program, we're going to be talking about specialty cruises. And, you know, there are so many things. If there's something of interest to you that really you want to focus on, there's a river cruise itinerary for you.
And you'll have an opportunity to speak one-on-one with travel experts tonight to have your individual questions answered.
Yeah, I'm really excited. There's a lot of information here. We're excited that you're joining us this evening, so let's get on with the program.
That sounds good to me. The only place I'd rather be than right here, right now, is on one of these river cruises.
I'm sure you'll have one booked by the end of this evening.
Well, I think we all will with all of these incredible savings tonight.
So now let's hear from some of our travel advisors on tips for traveling the world's rivers.
Thank you, Elizabeth and Brian, and welcome everybody. I am so excited to introduce you to 3 of our fantastic AAA and CAA travel advisors. Today I have with me Jenny, Shelley, and Matt. We are going to talk to you about the greatest tips and tricks of river cruising. Considering when to go on a river cruise, what is the best time?
Well, that's a really good question, and I don't think there's a bad time. If the only time you have to go is during the summer, enjoy those sun decks, take your favorite drink, watch the scenery and the castles go by, and enjoy it. But if you can go during the spring or the fall, where pricing might be a little bit better, the crowds are a lot less, the temperature's a lot better, those are excellent times to go as well. And then if you need that special Christmas gift that you don't want anyone else to get that somebody, Christmas markets are always a great time to go as well. And there's just something for everybody on a Christmas market as well.
I'll just probably add that if you are able to go, let's say in October, that's a beautiful time as prices tend to be a little lower. The weather's still very comfortable, and you can probably take in a couple festivals that are celebrating the harvest. And if you are into wine and wine tasting, perfect time. Harvest is happening then.
What about how do we pick the right river? There's a lot of rivers in Europe. River cruising has expanded into exotic rivers as well. So how does someone go about picking the right river for them?
That can be a daunting task to figure out, especially if you're a first-time cruiser to river cruising. And looking at Europe, I'd like to suggest the Rhine or the Danube. Those are the very popular ones. And if you've got enough time to combine both the Rhine and the Danube, you can do a lovely 14-day sailing. Now, if you're thinking you're really into the war history and you want to experience something that's going to include the relaxation of the river, the Paris and Normandy itinerary is absolutely fantastic. And going up to the beaches, so the Americans will have the day trip to Omaha Beach and the Canadians will visit Juno Beach. And along the way, you'll have site visits to war memorials and a few of the different cemeteries. So it's a very inspiring, emotional, and gratifying day that you'd be spending out there. If you're looking for something a little more adventurous and off the beaten path, well, the exotics that you mentioned, the Mekong to combine Vietnam and Cambodia, the Ganges in India, just imagine the sights and the smells and the tastes and the cultures. And very popular right now is the Nile River in Egypt, combining not only Cairo, but other side tours with that. If you're into the wines and you think, I want to enjoy wine tasting on my vacation and enjoy it with a river cruise, southern France in the Burgundy regions, the Bordeaux, you've got many historical visits along with the vineyards, the wine tasting, learn how it's all pulled together, maybe the champagne. And one other area, if you're into wines, but you think, I'd like to know a little bit more about port. The Douro River is a great one-week cruise, and you're sailing again in the beautiful deep valleys with the vineyards surrounding you. Many of the days you're going to be visiting the different wineries, learning and tasting how port wine is made. Lots of choices out there.
Another thing that has lots of choices is which river cruise operator to sail with. So for each of you, what is the number one thing that impacts which operator you go with? Jenny, let's start with you.
Okay. I have to say all of our river cruise partners do an excellent job. So on one hand, that's a very difficult question. But for me, the first thing that I look at is the itinerary. Who's got the itinerary that I like, and the type of cabin that I want. For me, a balcony is very important. So I might change travel partners based on what's available at the time that I can travel.
What are the amenities that are included? A number of our partners are all inclusive, so your onboard gratuities, all your beverages, all your shore excursions, and then others leave it up to you. So you may not want to have all that taken care of up front if you may not think you're going to be using all the extra beverages. So taking a look at what the providers are giving you.
Matt, how about you?
I think it does boil down sometimes to your budget. So there are some great deals out there that the cruise lines offer with free airfare, and that's really hard to beat when you're going over to Europe. So that might be a factor that you decide on which cruise line to take.
Let's talk a little bit about packing tips. And Jenny, I know you have gotten it down to a science. So tell me, how do I go about packing for a river cruise?
Well, we should all have it down to a science within this group because we all travel a lot. But for me, you can't tell. I'm about 5 feet tall and I don't weigh a lot, and I need to be able to pack where I can handle my suitcase. So for me, the end game is always getting the most out of what I'm packing. And I think of packing in terms of bottoms and tops. So I might just bring 3 bottoms and 3 or 4 tops. And instead of thinking in outfits that I have 3 outfits, I could have as many as 9 outfits because I'm mixing and matching pants and tops. And I also get away with doing that because I accessorize a lot. So I pack a number of scarves, chunky jewelry because it can dress an outfit up. It transitions from day to night, and it's lightweight, easy to pack. Another thing about packing, this is a little bit broader, but I need to be comfortable when I'm flying. So I actually have a little tip here. I always bring hand cream, saline solution for my eyes, or a spritzer because I get dehydrated on a plane. And I think this makes your travel, especially when you're going to a river cruise and it might be over the Atlantic. I mean, it's a longer flight. It makes your flight a little bit more comfortable, and it weighs nothing. Just make sure your liquids are no more than 3.4 ounces. Shoes. I know women will be upset with me, but I don't bring more than 3 pairs of shoes, and I usually wear the one that weighs the most. And I guess I would say I have one go-to piece, depending on where I'm going, the climate. I usually bring a pair of white jeans or dark jeans that can be dressy or casual. And they are typically my go-to bottoms because they transition so well from day to night and with different colors.
You had such a great tip for pre or post packing. So could you share that with everyone?
I think that packing cubes come in very handy here. So if you're going to do a pre or post, what I've done in the past is packed the clothes that I was going to wear for my pre in a cube so that I didn't have to unpack my whole suitcase and get it all messy. I just grabbed the cube right out of my suitcase, threw it in the drawer, and I was all set for the 1 or 2 nights that we were there.
One more tip or trick for river cruising that you would recommend. I'll start. I always say to bring a bag that zips down flat, like a packable duffel bag that you can then expand, because I always buy extra things and then it doesn't overload your suitcase. So especially if you're going on the Christmas markets, make sure you bring an extra bag. All right, Jenny, how about you?
Well, I guess I would say you have to go with an open mind. You are visiting new cultures. I would say make sure to try some new foods, something local. Maybe it's, I don't know, French fries in gravy, or I don't know, but make sure to keep your mind open and try something new.
Perfect. Shelley, how about you?
I would say if you're not really into photography, here's a perfect opportunity to try it out and have lots of camera cards with you so that you're not running out of space. It's amazing. You might think you've only taken 200 pictures in 1 week, but when you sit down at home and you go, oh my goodness, I've actually taken 1,200. And just keep clicking away because you're going to have those memories in your mind, but it's also good to see it on the camera card too.
Great. And Matt, how about you?
Uh, Going back to that packing, what we were talking about packing, I always carry like a hamper type deal. It's like looks like Santa Claus's bag because it's red and it's big and it has a drawstring. And I throw all my dirty clothes in there, and that way they are separated from my clean clothes, and that keeps everything nice and fresh. Also,
And keeps your cabin tidy. So that's a great way to wrap up.
yes.
So Matt and Shelley and Jenny, thank you so much for lending your expertise to us tonight. And with that, we're going to hand it back over to Brian and Elizabeth.
Wow, those were some great tips. I learned a lot. Now the question is, which river cruise should I go on?
You know, there are so many, and you know, as well, there are so many specialty cruises out there. You know, when people talk about river cruising, you get from point A to point B in wonderful style and wonderful culture, but there are different theme type cruises and specialty cruises out there. For example, I have traveled tulips and windmills. So it's in the spring, and I have to tell you, Kuchenhof Gardens is just endless tulips and flowers. We spent the day there. It's unbelievable. So that's an example of a specialty themed cruise that is in the spring, hovering around tulips and windmills.
That one's definitely on my bucket list. And, you know, there's so many castles, palaces, cathedrals, and more to be seen, you know, if you're considering a European river cruise. So there's a lot to see there.
So a traditional river cruise is Castles Along the Rhine, and that is a, you know, one of the original ones that has wonderful sightseeing. You mentioned all of that. And, you know, when you think of seasonal as well, Christmas markets. You know, I've done Christmas markets as well, and I have to tell you, to get in the small little towns and have all the little different decorations and the little booths and having the hot mulled wine, like I said, having the hot mulled wine.
You don't even notice that it's cold out any longer.
No, you don't. And so it really is, you know, wonderful to experience that. And, you know, they're just those types of things year round. I mentioned two of those kind of seasonal ones, but, you know, for foodies and wine folks, there's wonderful wine tours as well and wine cruises.
Right, and you'll be enjoying the delicacies and the wine from the region that you're visiting, and that makes the entire trip a little extra special.
Absolutely, and a lot of the excursions on those do visit wineries. So you're actually doing a little tasting on the winery. You're having it, you know, on board ship with dinner and lunch and all that good stuff. So that really is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity as well.
And it's great that we have welcomed river cruising here to North America. So we're so excited about those possibilities and learning about that. You can experience the southern charm of the United States or visit some of the rivers out west.
Absolutely. It has become more and more popular. More and more river cruises are coming to North America and enjoying that. So you're really getting to see that for those that really are more comfortable staying within the United States right now. And there's all kinds of different cruise ships with wonderful amenities to sail North American rivers.
Well, you could be sailing with an entire family, multi-generational, a few couples maybe going on a getaway together, or a solo cruise as well.
Absolutely. So there are solo opportunities as well. So, you know, there are some folks that just are very comfortable traveling as a single, or, you know, we have folks that maybe the spouse doesn't want to travel and the husband or wife want to travel and enjoy that river cruise. There are river cruises that cater to that as well. They have special pricing available, so you're not paying more just on a single opportunity.
And of course, luxury all-inclusive. Who doesn't want to experience that?
Well, that luxury, you said it, Elizabeth. So there's many cruise lines. They all have luxury, but that ultimate luxury is a true all-inclusive. Your gratuities are included. Everything from soup to nuts is there. You don't have to worry about a thing. And you know what's really fun as well? Things like bicycling. You know, when we were in Amsterdam, we got on bicycles and we just rode the countryside. It is so wonderful to be able to do things like that. It's all part of your river cruise experience.
Yeah, and if you choose a Jaguana hiking tour alone, which I did when I was on a river cruise. I had a great experience and I met up with the rest of the group later. So don't hold yourself back. River cruising is really the opportunity for you to experience so much and have so many memories you just can't get elsewhere.
Did you enjoy the river cruise?
I would call it total relaxation. Not having to think about too much, but enjoying yourself.
Great mixture of friends, and really, what a great week. Lots of laughter, wine, food, great people.
There really is so much to offer. I can't wait to go back.
I'm right there with you.
Well,
and we're very thankful for all of our partners who are here with us tonight. I'm really excited to hear about the different opportunities that they have available to travel.
absolutely. There's so many unique ones. There's something for everybody, and I think we're going to hear about them now.
Let's go.
All right.
So we are at the beautiful Blue Elk Vineyard in Northeast Maryland with our friend Kathy DiVincenzo from Ama Waterways to talk about all things river cruising and wine.
That's right, and it could not be a more perfect setting, right? Look at our setup here, our lovely charcuterie board and our wine, and it's great to talk about themed wine cruises, right?
It really is. So Kathy, tell us, why is river cruising one of the best ways to experience wine?
Well, I'm going to talk about why Ama River Cruising is the best way to experience wine, because Ama's a little bit different. We include champagne at breakfast, beer and wine at lunch and dinner, but it's only fine wine. And we select wines that are paired with our dinners, and they're from the local areas where we're sailing. So that just brings the whole area to life, and it just adds to the cruise and everything everyone is experiencing.
So when you talk about a wine-themed cruise, how is it different from your other typical river cruises?
Well, our typical river cruises do have a lot of wine, but with our wine cruises, we have a wine host who comes over from the U.S. and they do 3 different presentations while they're on board. And during those presentations, they taste 4 different wines, 2 Old World wine, 2 New World wine, and it's a fun, gregarious situation. And they teach you a lot about wines that you might not realize, the little things that are flavors in the wines and just the history. We play some fun games, and then we add in some tours that aren't part of our normal tour package that will take you to wineries and just different wine experiences. So a wine cruise has no additional cost. It just adds a little bit more to the experience.
That's great.
And I love that job, a wine host, right?
Right.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be amazing. So speaking of wine hosting, I like to host a red wine. So where would I head? Which rivers would be best for me if I'm a red wine lover?
Well, I too am a red wine lover. So my favorite is in the south of France on the Rhone and the Saône. There you're going to get the Beaujolais and the Côte de Rhone wines. And just the whole area is just magnificent. But we're not going to discount Bordeaux, because that, of course, is the French region that everybody knows for its fine wine. And on our Bordeaux cruise, it's wine, wine, and more wine. So for the wine lover, this is perfect, because we take you to winery tours in the morning and the afternoon. You'll taste several different wines. It'll be paired with different things that add to the flavor. You'll learn a lot more about the history of wine. And then you have Portugal, which Portugal is a little bit different. They have great red wines. Everyone knows it for its port wines. So do you know how port wine got to be?
No idea.
But enlighten us, please.
I learned on our Portugal cruise. Well, what happened is it was invaded by the British, and the British loved it so much that they wanted to take the red wine home, but they couldn't figure out how to stop the fermentation process to bring those Portuguese red wines home. So they poured brandy into the red wine and created port wine.
That's really cool.
So it's little things that we learn on our wine cruises that are little fun tidbits, but the wines in Portugal and France, and of course the other wines in the rest of Europe are fabulous as well. But you learn all these different things, taste these tastes, and it's just something that we bring to the table that our competitors don't.
Now, Kathy, what departures or itineraries would be best for somebody who's newer to wine tasting?
Well, our Rhine and Danube are prime prospects for those folks that are new. The Rhine is really famous for its Riesling wine, and then there's also a wine called Gruner Veltliner, and that came from the Italians when they conquered that area, and they brought the grapes from Italy. So that's a really popular white wine. So of course the Rhine is great. We have our captivating Rhine, our enchanting Rhine, and then one of our Rhine itineraries allows you to and in Lake Como, so you can get some Italian wine.
That's different.
So we have a whole plethora of different choices on the Rhine. And then when we go to the Danube, we have the Wachau Valley, which is world famous for its wines. And I just like walking through the vineyards myself. We have several hikes that take you through the vineyards.
How does AMA really take that wine-themed experience and pair that with cuisine on board the ship?
Our head chef, Robert Kellerhaus, is new to AMA Waterways, and what he's done is he's selected different wines and menus with Rudy Schreiner, our owner, and they create our menus and pair it so that you will have our alternate dining multi-course wine paired dinner in our chef's table, but then we're also having a Chandon Rotisserie dinner, and that is the chef's tribute to his craft. And that will also have different pairings and different menu selections. So there's so many things that we do, but we also do that every night. So there will be different selections. You'll have selections of white wine, red wine. Say you're in one place and you love the wine, and the next night you're not really as favorable to that wine as you were from the night before. You can request the wine from the night before, the night before. So we let you make choices, and believe it or not, it's included and it's unlimited.
Well, and I love that, if you're not a red wine drinker, you can try a little bit of the red wine from that region, see if you like it, then, you can try the white wine. So it's really a nice way to figure out what is your palate, what wines do taste good to you, which I love that you can do that on a river cruise.
And not all river cruises, but with AMA Waterways you can.
So I had the amazing experience of doing the Rhine River cruise with the wine pairing for my 10th anniversary. And it was just such an unbelievable adventure to have, like you said, someone from the US, from a winery, talking about their wines, comparing it to the wines of the Rhine, seeing how a California white is different than a German white. It was just such a fun experience. And we got to do the hiking tour through some of the vineyards, and you're going up the terrace vineyards, and it was just beautiful. And as you go up the terrace vineyards, you're not just going on a hike, because every so often you stop and you get to sample the wines. So you're walking and then you're tasting the wine with the winemaker, the local winemaker. It was just an unbelievable experience.
I'm sure there's a couple of guides to make sure you get back to the ship safely after all that wine tasting.
Absolutely.
Great.
And you actually see the ship from the vineyard. That's how close you are. So you're safe in the hands of AMA.
All right. Well, thank you, Kathy. We appreciate you being here with us today.
Thank you so much. And we have a toast to your health. It's called Gesundheit in German. Cheers.
Cheers.
You have many choices to tailor your perfect themed river cruise experience. Learn more at AAA.com/travel.
Hello, AAA members. My name is Ellen Bettridge, and I'm the proud CEO of Uniworld Boutique River Cruises. AAA is a top partner of Uniworld, and we value the strong, long-standing partnership between our organizations and continuing to provide unique offers and value to AAA members. Uniworld has redefined the concept of all-inclusive luxury, offering the most exceptional amenities, experiences, and services. We believe our guests deserve the absolute best of everything. When you first step on board a Uniworld ship, you will see the difference. It's truly in the details. Under the guidance and vision of the Tolmans, a family synonymous with hospitality and innovation, Uniworld boldly invests in new ships that continue to elevate not only the Uniworld experience, but the river cruise standards as a whole. With ships throughout Europe, as well as India, Egypt, Vietnam, Cambodia, and South America, each ship is inspired by the rivers in which we cruise. Our ships seamlessly blend old world elegance with the latest innovation and ultra-luxurious amenities. Our beautiful fleet allows you to cruise in comfort, but to ensure that you have truly carefree and effortless travel. We've gone ahead and included it all. Uniworld is all-inclusive river cruising, so once you're on board, the only thing you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy your vacation. Included with our cruises is an ample selection of premium spirits and wines throughout, onboard gratuities, onboard entertainment and enrichment, ship-wide Wi-Fi, and carefully curated excursions in each city. We also have fitness centers on board that include bicycles, Nordic walking sticks, and onboard fitness classes. Throughout your journey, you will enjoy 5-star amazing dining that is and also 24-hour room service. At Uniworld, we know the only way to deliver the most luxurious, all-inclusive experience is through personal service from the most tenured crew on the rivers. We treat our guests like family. Our philosophy instilled in our company culture as a family-owned business. We know the tiniest of details have the biggest impact. That's why we take great pride in our long-lasting relationships with guests, for whom there is no request too large nor no detail too small. With one of the industry's highest staff-to-guest ratios, we provide amazing training and go above and beyond to create extraordinary experiences, both on board and on shore. Our commitment to always delivering the best experience on the rivers is why we're consistently voted the world's best luxury river cruise line. It's a commitment that we have since the beginning, and it's one we will always have. Thank you for discovering Uniworld with me and our luxurious, all-inclusive experiences. Here's to many more years of delivering the world's best in river cruising. We look forward to having you on board. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Matthew Zion, Director of National Accounts with Viking. Thank you so much for joining. Today I have the pleasure of briefly discovering our seasonal cruises with you. Now, one of the most popular questions that often pops up is, when is the best time to sail? Well, that will truly depend on where you wish to travel and what you wish to discover. We travel on virtually every navigable waterway throughout Europe, as well as Vietnam, Cambodia, Egypt, and even the upcoming mighty Mississippi. Now, no matter where you travel, there is something to experience at virtually every time of year. In the very early season, one of the most popular itineraries would be our Tulips and Windmill itinerary. This is a 10-day voyage, with the highlight being those unbelievable tulips. Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Here we can see Keukenhof, the world's largest floral park. This 10-day itinerary has 8 guided tours. You'll have an included excursion at each port of call, visiting the Netherlands, Belgium, and overnighting in Amsterdam on both the front and back end. A little bit later in the season, there's no better place to be than the south of France to experience those legendary lavender fields from June through July. This would be Avignon, Lyon, and Provence. Beautiful 8-day itinerary, 7 guided tours. It traverses in both directions, Lyon to Avignon, or vice versa, Avignon to Lyon. One of my favorites, Monet's Gardens, is a delight to explore virtually any season, spring, summer, or fall. This can be experienced on our Paris in the Heart of Normandy itinerary, which is round trip into and out of Paris, literally steps away from the Eiffel Tower, visiting Giverny, those iconic water lilies, working your way all the way to the beaches of Normandy and going through some idyllic French countryside. For my wine lovers, you'll know that there's no bad time to visit a winery. One of my favorite regions is the Wachau Valley here in Austria along the Danube. This 18-mile stretch is an UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can see vineyard flanked slopes on either side of the river. It is just an absolute stunning region, one of the most beautiful areas that I've sailed through. There are more than 200 wineries in this region, very well known for those Rieslings. If you do happen to pick up a Riesling or two while you're traveling, be it beer, wine, spirits, there's no corkage fee with Viking. I find this to be a great added value and a wonderful benefit that many people are unaware of. France was quite literally born on the rivers. Chateau, Rivers, and Wine is a beautiful 8-day itinerary where you can experience the wine regions of Bordeaux, or again, the south of France with our Lyon and Provence itinerary. A little bit later in the season, Oktoberfest, one of my favorite holidays. Here you can see the celebration and one of the world famous beer halls with the traditional beer steins, polka dancing. And as much as possible, we want to introduce you to the food and drink and traditions of the region. Our chefs will literally go out to the local markets and bring the food back. So you're getting a taste and a flavor of each of these areas that we travel through. Here you can see that beautiful hot Bavarian white sausage with the fresh pretzels and sweet mustard. This can be experienced on one of our most popular itineraries, the Rhine Getaway. This is an 8-day itinerary traveling from Amsterdam to Basel, or vice versa, Basel working your way through Germany up to Amsterdam. I'd be remiss not to mention the Christmas market. That holiday river cruise season is a bucket list item for many people, and Europe quite simply comes alive at this time of year. This generally starts the last week of November and travels all the way through December is when the Christmas markets run. So the last week of November through December, the experiences can be found on the romantic Danube, the Danube Waltz, the Rhine Getaway, Paris to the Swiss Alps, and Christmas along the Elbe. Our onboard highlights are truly amplified with musical performances. We bring on local entertainers to perform where we're able to, Christmas tree trimming, holiday baking demonstrations. You can see the gingerbread making and the beautiful displays that you'll find on board. But it's a treat to experience Europe with that old world Christmas. We'll visit the local Christmas markets in some iconic cities and quaint towns, Yuletide cookies, cakes, cobblestone streets illuminated by the holiday lights here in Nuremberg, Germany, the Glühwein, which will literally heat you up from the inside out, Regensburg, one of my most favorite, Vienna, Austria. It is a magical time and something, if you haven't experienced, you simply do need to put on your list. We're bringing that same holiday spirit stateside for the very first time starting this year, December of 2022, with our Mississippi holiday season itinerary. This 8-day voyage travels from New Orleans to Memphis or vice versa, Memphis to New Orleans, and allows you to savor the holidays in the Old South, discover the history and charm of the lower Mississippi, see those beautiful festive sights, experience that Cajun and Creole seasoning as we get into the Deep South, and a very popular and famous estate That would be the Elvis Presley's Graceland with privileged access. We'll have access to areas that are off limits to the general public. We'll have access to areas before the general public, and this is exclusive to our Viking guests. Now, no matter when you sail or where, the world of Viking continues to grow on all 7 continents, 95 countries, 403 ports, 5 oceans, 20 rivers, and all 5 Great Lakes. I want to thank you so much for joining. We look forward to welcoming you on board very soon. For more information, pricing, details, and availability, please do reach out to the advisor who referred you. Bon voyage.
Good afternoon, AAA. My name is Erin Tulibitz, and I'm the National Account Manager at TAUC. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time talking with you about solo travelers on our European river cruises. For 90 plus years, solo travelers have found a special travel home with TAUC in destinations around the world. Traveling solo doesn't mean traveling alone. Our European river cruises are such a great way for guests traveling solo to explore Europe. You'll be in the company of like-minded travelers who choose TAUC river cruises for the same reasons you did: mutual interests that foster camaraderie and enjoying the spirit of travel that makes exploring the world a necessary part of life. Our river cruises are ideal for travelers of all ages who are fascinated by Europe's history, culture, food and wine, good value, and high quality. It's not only what you see, but how you see it. And that's what makes TAUC River Cruises so unique. In 2022, we will offer 32 cruises throughout Europe, along the Rhine, Moselle, Danube, Douro, Seine, Saône, and the Rhone. The travel experiences come to life through Europe, both from the water and on land, pairing those must-see cities with the picture postcard villages along the way. Some of the best reasons for traveling solo with TAUC: virtually every travel expense is included in one upfront price, and solo travelers enjoy special savings in our Category 1 cabins. There is no single supplement on all European river cruises. The single price in Category 1 is the same as the double price, which means savings of up to 50% for all solo travelers on every departure of every European river cruise. Solo travelers also enjoy savings of $1,000 per cabin in select categories on select river cruises. Our expert guides. Our cruises feature a minimum of 4 staff per ship, 3 tour directors and 1 cruise director. TAUC directors who guide your trips are all solo travelers themselves, and they are the best in the business. They treat every guest as an individual, looking after each guest's needs, so solo travelers feel secure and looked after from the day they arrive to the day they depart. Our TAUC directors are knowledgeable professionals, well-versed in local cultural customs and traditions, giving you, the traveler, the opportunity to be with someone in the know. They can offer helpful suggestions when asked, such as what to do in your free time, and they manage all daily details of travel, from checking you in and out of hotels to all luggage handling, and they oversee your on-tour transportation. Small is big at TAUC. This is a photo of our newest ship, the MS Andorina, that sails on the Douro. We designed our custom-built river fleet for fewer passengers and more personal space than comparative same-sized riverboats. Half of our fleet are 49 cabins or less, and our maximum size is just 67 cabins with an average number of 104 guests on board. Our goal was to provide larger, more spacious cabins, fewer crowds, and more personalized service in our lounges and in our dining rooms. While traveling with TAUC, unique and exclusive access makes your travels unlike any other. It's not just about the places you visit, it's how you experience them that makes all the difference on your cruise. We want to show you the heart of Europe differently than how you could see it with anyone else. You'll enjoy special access to private places not open to the general public, dinners in historic private palaces, castles, chateaus, and museums, These experiences enrich our cruises with travel memories that will last a lifetime. Our European river cruises run from April to October and in December for the Christmas markets. And we still have great availability in 2022 on a number of our departures across Europe. Many guests traveling solo book a Tauk River cruise because they know we'll take great care of them and they'll meet like-minded individuals among their fellow travelers. Our values and our vision remain true: to always do the right thing, deliver more than is expected, embrace change, and enhance our guests' lives by broadening their knowledge and fulfilling their travel dreams. That's exactly what we're looking forward to on the rivers of Europe this year. AAA, thank you for your time today, and I hope to see you soon on a Tauk River cruise. Until then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Eugene Bright, and I work with Pleasant Holiday. And I'm here today to talk to you about American Queen Voyages, which is one of the products that we offer. American Queen Steamboat Company and Victory Cruise Line are now American Queen Voyages. Today, American Queen Voyages open up an entire North American continent to a deeper discovery. From the mighty American rivers to the lakes and ocean, and expedition voyages to the Alaskan wilds, places where tradition comes alive and discovery runs deep. AQV will have a fleet of 8 vessels by 2023. The top 4 images represents our authentic paddle wheel boats sailing on the U.S. rivers. The bottom left 2 images represents our small ship cruise experiences on the lakes and ocean. The bottom right 2 images represents our newest experience, the expedition voyages. Many of AQV's vessels have single, triple, quad, and connecting rooms. The paddle wheelers are well suited for our guests who may have mobility issues, and every vessel is equipped with elevators, ramp over the thresholds, and have a fully accessible stateroom with roll-in showers. Our fleet creates 3 distinct experiences, which are the rivers, lakes and ocean, and expedition. You can explore all AQV's cruise destination from the Mississippi River to Great Lakes to Alaska to New England and so much more. Find the perfect all-inclusive luxury cruise to offered destination. All voyages include these features. Yes, 1 night pre-cruise hotel stay is included. This includes breakfast the next morning, luggage handling and transfers from the hotel to the port on embarkation day. And also, please note, unlimited beverages are every day, is available throughout the day. This includes soda, specialty coffee, tea, filtered water, choice wine, and spirits, cocktails. If you want to order Tito's vodka with cranberry, or a shot of tequila, or a whiskey, that is all included. Now, excuse me, AQV also has a wide variety themed voyages. These special edition voyages are thoughtfully planned cruises featuring unique and special voyage programming. Lively onboard events pair with exclusive shore excursions to create meaningful, in-depth, and unforgettable memories. Our guests are of the baby boomers generation with average age of 65 plus. Typically, they are well-traveled, well-educated, probably done a European river cruise, and now wants to stay closer to home. Dress code on board is country casual, and AQV is also single traveler friendly and are suited for guests who may have mobility issues. We also welcome children of any age. There is no minimum age requirement. However, AQV do not have kids club or organized children's activities. And these are the American Queen Voyages and Pleasant Holidays current offer. I hope you enjoyed this short and brief presentation. And please don't forget to drop by our booth. Again, this is Eugene Bright. And hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you and have a great day.
When planning a vacation, we realize you have many important choices to make. We want to thank you for choosing American Cruise Lines and to tell you a little about us. In our many years of welcoming our guests on board, our motto to serve is simple: exceed our guests' expectations. American Cruise Lines is an all-American business. Founded over 25 years ago, the company is fully American-owned and operated, with every ship built in the USA. Beginning with just one ship, the company has grown to the largest cruise line in the country and a recognized leader in small ship cruising. We have more than 35 itineraries, ranging from 5 to 22 days in length, visiting the most captivating destinations across the United States. All of our ships are constructed at our Maryland shipyard to ensure the highest quality, attention to detail, and a green-forward approach. American Cruise Lines operates the most environmentally friendly fleet of 100 to 200 passenger modern riverboats and small cruise ships in the U.S. We pride ourselves on our continual conservation efforts through emissions reduction, sustainable sourcing, onboard recycling program, and strategies to reduce water and energy consumption. American Cruise Lines recently announced a revolutionary series of modern riverboats, the first and only destined for America's rivers. The new riverboats feature the largest staterooms in the U.S., with private balconies, full-size bathrooms, and all the modern design features that today's traveler has come to expect. Uniquely designed to navigate the coastal waters of the U.S., American Constellation and her sister ship, American Constitution, sail the scenic intracoastal waterways of the Atlantic and Pacific, including Alaska. Glide past the rolling, picturesque landscapes on a nostalgic journey aboard Mississippi's newest paddle wheelers and modern riverboats. American Cruise Lines offers an array of itineraries along the entire length of the Mississippi, ranging from 5 to 22 days. Explore fascinating ports, antebellum plantations, and Civil War battlefields. Try one of our specially designed themed cruises, perfect for music aficionados, culinary connoisseurs, and history enthusiasts. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest, home to majestic glaciers, abundant wildlife, and vast miles of untouched wilderness. Soaring bald eagles grace the skies, while whales and harbor seals make the sea their playground. Explore Puget Sound and the San Juan Islands, Southeast Alaska, and the Alaskan Inside Passage. On our newest Alaska itinerary, the 11-day Alaskan Explorer, enjoy 2 days of exclusive access to Glacier Bay, the world's largest biosphere. Embrace your inner pioneer as you travel along the epic route forged by Lewis and Clark more than 200 years ago. American Cruise Lines offers a variety of cruise lengths along these rivers, ranging from 5 to 11 days. Try one of our featured theme cruises, including our Spring Tulip Festival cruise, our delicious food and wine cruise, or the popular Lewis and Clark cruise. Known for its natural beauty, pristine shores, charming coastal communities, and of course, some of the world's freshest seafood, our New England cruises offer something everyone will enjoy. Enjoy the stunning scenery with rich maritime history of the region as you visit Newport, Martha's Vineyard, Provincetown, and Bar Harbor. On our Maine coast and harbor cruises, you'll visit small ports and quaint seaport villages for a chance to experience the best Maine has to offer. Witness the majestic Acadia National Park, whale watch from the sun deck, and dine on some of the most succulent lobster you've ever tasted. During the peak fall foliage season, we offer a colorful cruise along the Hudson River. Experience a front row seat to the fall season as leaves change to brilliant colors of red, orange, and golden yellow. Relax and enjoy a warm southern welcome on one of our historic South and Golden Isles cruises. Visit exciting locations, including Jekyll Island and Amelia Island, plus guided shore excursions that include a horse-drawn carriage ride through Beaufort. an exploration of historic Savannah, and a dolphin discovery cruise in Hilton Head. With over 35 different cruise itineraries traveling to 25 different states, the only question left is, where can we take you next?
Wow, what great information. So many different opportunities to choose from.
You know what? I can't wait to go back. There are so many opportunities, and I love really talking about those specialty cruises because, you know, those are really unique, but river cruising in general, there is so much opportunity, and I'm ready to go.
Well, you know what it is? It's contagious because as soon as you go on a river cruise and you post on your social media, your friends see it, they will all be asking you the details. They'll be wowed by the pictures, and then that's how it spreads like the domino effect.
Absolutely, you're right. It does, and I have to tell you, you know, the rivers in North America really interest me. That has become really popular in the last couple of years, so I think that's going to be on my list as well.
Yeah, we have so many different places to choose from, all within reach, and depending on what each person is looking for, you'll find a river cruise to meet your needs.
And AAA did a wonderful job in putting together the program.
The tours, and they were set up so perfectly. The food, the beverage, everything.
Speaking of river cruising, it is an investment. It's an investment financially. It's an investment in your time. One of the things that we definitely recommend, and we have representatives here tonight, is protect that investment with trip insurance. It really is so important, Elizabeth.
Oh, it really is. And when you think about it, that's exactly what you're doing. You're protecting an investment. And what we've learned through the pandemic, planning and preparation are the keys to a smooth trip, and it all should be protected with that trip insurance.
Absolutely. And you know, you never know. Something could happen last minute. Over the years, I've had folks that have not taken insurance and something happened and, you know, you don't get your money back. I mean, it's there for a reason and you really want to protect that investment. And so we do have representatives from Allianz, which is AAA's preferred partner for trip protection and insurance, and AMA for CAA members as well. So, you know, there are representatives here to talk to them and understand what the coverage is, but there are different policies to protect the type of trip that you have.
Right. And you have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with expert travel agents tonight, too.
Absolutely. So our travel advisors are here. You can go into the chat room with them and actually plan that vacation right this evening or set up an appointment with them to plan that river cruise.
And you can also learn more from some of our partners who are here tonight as well if you have specific questions. And if you're having trouble navigating, don't worry, just comment in the chat and someone will help you out.
Absolutely. There's a lot of opportunity, and if you want to, you know, just set up an appointment for the future in the next week or so to take advantage of these wonderful specials tonight with a travel advisor, however you want to do it, we're here to make that river cruise experience terrific.
And it's something you definitely won't regret. You'll have memories made for a lifetime.
So we're glad you joined us here on the main stage. There's still a lot more activity going on, so don't go away, but we appreciate you being here.
And thank you for participating, and also thank you to all of our travel partners for sharing this incredible information tonight.